What if I told you that while your financial advisor is promising you an 8% annual return over the next 40 years, there's a group of people routinely achieving 3,600% returns in less than 5 years? And no, they're not lucky lottery winners or crypto gamblers. They're entrepreneurs who've cracked a code that Wall Street doesn't want you to know about. Hey, I'm Lei, and today we're diving into something that completely changed how I think about creating value and making money. We're talking about Alex Hormozi's revolutionary framework from his book, $100 Million Offers. This isn't just another business strategy. This is the blueprint that took Hormozi from zero to building a company worth over $100 million. And the same principles can transform how you approach any business or side hustle you're building right now. So here's the deal. Every financial advisor on the planet tells you the same story, right? Save 20% of your paycheck, invest it in index funds, wait 20 to 40 years, and maybe, just maybe, you'll retire comfortably with your 8 to 10% average annual returns. They call it the responsible path, the safe path. But what they're really saying is, live below your means for decades and hope the market cooperates. Meanwhile, entrepreneurs are playing a completely different game. They're not hoping for market returns. They're creating their own markets. They're not limited by what Wall Street offers. They're building offers so compelling that customers throw money at them. And the beauty of it? They don't have to live below their means. They create more means. The secret comes down to understanding what Hormozi calls the Grand Slam offer. This is an offer so good, so irresistible, that your prospects literally can't say no. And when you nail this, you escape the commodity death trap, where you're competing solely on price and your margins disappear faster than your sanity. Let me start with the problem that kills most entrepreneurial dreams. After working with thousands of businesses across every industry you can imagine, from chiropractors to software companies to gym owners, Hormozi discovered that virtually every struggle comes down to two core issues: not enough clients and not enough cash after expenses. Sound familiar? But here's where it gets cruel. When most entrepreneurs try to solve the first problem, they make the second one worse. You need more customers, so what do? You lower your prices. You run promotions, you discount your services, and suddenly you're working 80 hours a week for razor-thin margins, essentially buying yourself the world's most expensive job. This is the commodity death spiral. You're competing on price, your margins evaporate, and you become a slave to your own business. Hormozi learned this lesson the hard way in his early days running a gym marketing service. He was charging $1,000 down, then $1,000 per month for lead generation. Classic commodity offer. His profit margins were terrible, customer acquisition was expensive, and he was constantly fighting competitors who'd undercut his prices. Then he had a breakthrough that changed everything. Instead of offering generic lead generation services, he completely restructured his offer into something that sounded almost too good to be true. He told gym owners, pay me one time, no recurring fee, just cover the ad spend. I'll generate leads and work those leads for you. You only pay me if people actually show up. I guarantee 20 people in your first month or your next month is free. Plus, I'll give you our entire playbook, tested scripts, pricing strategies, sales recordings, and daily coaching for your staff. Same work. Same fulfillment on his end, but here's what happened. He collected 22.4 times more cash upfront, 22.4 times. Instead of losing money to acquire customers, he was making money getting new customers. This isn't magic. This is understanding how to create what he calls value discrepancy. Now, most entrepreneurs think scaling means working harder or hiring more people, but there are only 3 mathematical ways to grow any business. You can get more customers, you can increase what each customer pays you, or you can get them to buy more frequently. That's it. Those are your 3 levers. Most people obsess over the first lever, getting more customers through advertising, networking, cold outreach, but that's often the most expensive and time-consuming approach. The smart play? Focus on levers 2 and 3 first. Why? Because it's always easier to extract more value from existing relationships than to create new ones from scratch. When Hormozi's gym clients implemented his strategies, they increased average ticket prices from $300 to $1,500. That's a 5 times increase, and it resulted in 38 times more profit. The same amount of work delivered more value to customers while generating exponentially more profit. This happens when you shift from competing on price to competing on value. Let me paint you a scenario that probably sounds familiar. You're running a service business, maybe marketing, consulting, coaching, whatever. A prospect asks for your prices. You quote them $5,000 a month. They come back and say, hey, I found someone who'll do the same thing for $3,000. What do? If you lower your price to compete, congratulations, you just entered the commodity death trap. You're now in a race to the bottom where margins get thinner and thinner until you're working for virtually nothing. The problem isn't your pricing, it's your positioning. When prospects can easily compare your offer to others, you become a commodity, and commodities always compete on price. So how do you escape? You create what Hormozi calls a Grand Slam offer. This is an offer so unique, so compelling, that it cannot be compared to any other product or service available. You're combining an attractive promotion, an unmatchable value proposition, premium pricing, and an unbeatable guarantee with a business model that allows you to get paid to acquire new customers. When you nail this, prospects aren't choosing between you and a competitor. They're choosing between your offer and nothing. This is how you charge premium prices while delivering extraordinary value. But here's the catch, and this is crucial. Before you can create your Grand Slam offer, you need the right market. You need a starving crowd. Think about it this way. There's a hierarchy to business success. At the top is your market, the starving crowd. Below that is your offer strength. At the bottom is your persuasion skills, your sales ability. A great market can overcome a mediocre offer and poor sales skills. But even the best offer and world-class persuasion can't save you from a bad market. So what makes a market worth pursuing? Hormozi breaks it down to 4 criteria. First, they need pain, real pain, problems that keep them up at night. Second, they need purchasing power. They have money and the authority to spend it. Third, they need to be easy to target. You can find them and reach them efficiently. And fourth, the market needs to be growing, not shrinking. When Hormozi focused on gym owners, he didn't just say small business owners. That's too broad. He didn't even say fitness professionals. That's too vague. He got laser specific. Gym owners with at least 100 members, a signed lease, at least one employee, who wanted to help clients lose weight. This specificity allowed him to create targeted messaging, understand exact pain points, and charge premium prices for highly relevant solutions. Now let's talk about the engine behind every Grand Slam offer, the value equation. This is a mathematical framework for understanding and increasing perceived value. Here's the formula. Value equals dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay plus effort and sacrifice. To maximize value, you want to increase the dream outcome, what they actually get, increase the perceived likelihood they'll achieve it, decrease the time it takes to see results, and decrease the effort and sacrifice required. Most entrepreneurs get this backwards. They think lowering price is the easiest way to increase value. But price is what customers pay. Value is what they get. You can only lower price to 0, but you can increase value infinitely. Think about it this way. Would you rather pay $10,000 for something worth $100,000 or pay $100 for something worth $110? The first option has a 10 times value to price ratio. The second has only 1.1 times. Smart customers choose the better deal, not the cheaper price. This is exactly why Hormozi could charge more than his competitors. He was delivering significantly more value, not just lower prices. So how do you actually build your Grand Slam offer? It starts with understanding every single problem your customer faces. You need to map out everything they must do to achieve their desired outcome. Then identify every obstacle, concern, or fear they have about each step. Let's use weight loss as an example since everyone understands it. When someone tries to lose weight, they have to buy healthy food. But what are their concerns? It's confusing. I don't know what to buy. It takes too much time to shop and meal prep. Healthy food is expensive. My family won't like it. I travel too much to maintain this. Then there's exercising regularly. I don't have time. I hate working out. I don't know what to do. I'll get injured. Here's the key insight. Every unresolved problem is a reason for prospects not to buy. Your offer must address every significant concern, or people will use those unresolved problems as justification to delay or avoid purchasing. So once you've mapped every problem, you turn each one into a specific solution. Problem: I don't know what healthy food to buy. Solution: complete grocery shopping guide with exact products, brands, and shopping lists for every major store. Problem: I travel too much. Solution: travel nutrition guide with restaurant recommendations and hotel room meal strategies. Now you'll end up with this massive list of potential solutions. The next step is deciding which ones to include based on their cost to value ratio. You want to remove high-cost, low-value solutions, expensive for you to deliver with little customer benefit. Remove low-cost, low-value solutions, cheap but meaningless. Keep low-cost, high-value solutions, easy for you but huge benefit for them. And keep high-cost, high-value solutions, expensive but game-changing for customers. The goal is creating what Hormozi calls one-to-many solutions. These are high-value deliverables you create once, but can provide to unlimited customers. When he first started, Hormozi literally flew to each gym, lived there for 21 days, and did everything himself. That was high-cost, high-value, but completely unscalable. So he created systems, templates, training programs, and remote coaching that delivered the same value without the insane time investment. Now, once you have your core offer built, there are 5 psychological enhancers that dramatically increase both response rates and perceived value. First is scarcity. When something is rare or limited, we perceive it as more valuable. You can limit quantity, only 50 spots available. Limit time, enrollment closes Friday. Or limit bonuses, first 10 people get this extra. But here's the critical part. The scarcity must be real and ethical. False scarcity destroys trust. Second is urgency. This creates time pressure that compels action. But it has to be genuine. Real urgency looks like price increases on a specific date, bonuses that genuinely expire, your actual availability limitations, or market timing advantages. Prospects can smell artificial urgency a mile away. Third is bonuses. This is one of Hormozi's favorite tools because bonuses allow you to dramatically increase perceived value without proportionally increasing your delivery costs. Each bonus should address specific customer concerns, have a clear monetary value, solve problems customers will encounter next, and have compelling names that highlight benefits. Instead of calling it email templates, call it the $47,000 email sequence, and explain how this exact sequence generated that much revenue for a previous client. Fourth is guarantees. Guarantees transfer risk from the customer to you, making the buying decision much easier. The stronger your guarantee, the higher your conversion rates. You can do unconditional refunds, money back, no questions asked. Service guarantees will do it until you're satisfied. Outcome guarantees, results, or refund. Or even anti-guarantees, no refunds, but here's why you won't need one. And fifth is naming. Your offer name should communicate the benefit and create curiosity simultaneously. Avoid generic names like business consulting or marketing services. Instead of weight loss program, call it the 21-day metabolic reset. Instead of business coaching, the $1 million CEO blueprint. Instead of marketing services, the client acquisition system. Here's what ties all of this together. Creating a Grand Slam offer is just the beginning. Execution is what determines whether your brilliant offer makes money or just sounds good on paper. Before launching, you need to understand your best customers deeply. Survey your existing customers about their biggest challenges and what they value most. Identify your biggest spenders, the customers who pay the most or buy most frequently. Find common characteristics in demographics, behaviors, and motivations. Then re-engineer your entire sales process to attract more people who match that ideal profile. When Hormozi analyzed his best gym clients, he discovered they shared specific characteristics: Conservative politically, married males 25 to 45 years old, gym owners with signed leases, at least one employee, $10,000 plus monthly revenue, minimum 30 existing clients. Instead of marketing to all gym owners, he focused exclusively on this profile. The result? His company went from startup to $100 million in annual revenue by creating offers that were irresistible to this specific market. So here's your action plan. First, identify your starving crowd. Choose a specific market that has pain, purchasing power, and is easy to target. Be more specific than you think you should be. Second, map their complete journey. List every step your ideal customer must take to achieve their desired outcome and identify every potential obstacle. Third, create comprehensive solutions. Develop specific solutions for each problem, focusing on high-value, scalable deliverables. Fourth, add psychological enhancers. Incorporate scarcity, urgency, bonuses, guarantees, and compelling naming. And fifth, test and iterate. Launch your offer to real customers, collect feedback, and continuously improve based on actual market response. Remember, you only need one Grand Slam offer to transform your entire business. While others compete on price in crowded markets, you'll be creating your own category where you set the rules and the prices. Conventional investment wisdom promises 8 to 10% returns over decades, but entrepreneurs who master the Grand Slam offer framework routinely achieve 3,600% returns in just a few years. The choice is yours. You can follow the traditional path, save diligently, invest in index funds, and hope for single-digit returns over 40 years. Or you can build your own Grand Slam offer, create massive value for a starving crowd, and achieve returns that make Wall Street look like pocket change. For more insights like this and the complete breakdown of the frameworks we discussed today, head over to bullishbooks.com. I've got the full article there with even more details, examples, and action steps you can implement immediately. And if you found this valuable, do me a favor and share it with another entrepreneur who's ready to stop competing on price and start creating category-defining offers. I'll see you in the next episode where we're breaking down another game-changing business framework that the most successful entrepreneurs use but rarely talk about. Until then, go build something remarkable.